November 1st, 1986. Long Beach, New York. A small, peaceful town on the Atlantic coast. But that morning, the town's tranquility was shattered by a scream rising from the dormitory. 15-year-old Chaim Weiss didn't get up for morning prayers. His friends knocked on his door, but there was no answer. The door was open, and inside, a motionless body lying on the floor. He was no longer alive. His pillow was stained with blood. But the strangest thing, there were no signs of a struggle. The door was locked from the inside, and the window was wide open. Chaim Weiss was a bright, quiet student. He attended the yeshiva of Long Beach, a Jewish boarding school. He was very religious and strictly followed the rules. His friends remember him as respectful, shy, but kind. The day before, on October 31st, Halloween night, the dormitory building was quiet. The students were in their rooms, but no one knew that night would end like this. That night, Chaim was alone in his room. Some witnesses said he had left his window open, perhaps because it was hot, perhaps because he was waiting for someone. Around 7 o'clock in the morning, the school was preparing for morning prayers. A student knocked on Chaim's door. There was no answer. When he opened the door, he froze. Chaim was lying on the floor. He had been struck sharply on the head. The blood seemed to have frozen instantly. His body was cold, but there was one detail noticed upon entering the room. A candle. A candle was burning right next to his bed, and the window was open enough to let in the morning chill. The killer hadn't just killed him. It was as if he had prayed for Chaim's soul. The police arrived at the residence shortly thereafter. The scene was carefully examined. No weapon was found, no fingerprints, nor any signs of forced entry. Everything in the room was in order. Chaim's glasses, books, and religious items were in their proper places. The bed appeared to have been made, but he was lying on the floor. The detectives couldn't make sense of the door being locked from the inside. The window was open, but climbing in from the outside was nearly impossible. Only someone inside could have entered so quietly. Another detail, the candle had been lit after death, so someone had re-entered the room. In Jewish tradition, lighting a candle for the soul of someone who has died is a sign of respect. However, no one in Chaim's room admitted to lighting a candle. The police investigated whether the incident was a religious ritual murder, but no trace, no clue was found. There wasn't a single blood stain in Chaim's room, so he wasn't in the bed. He had been moved and left on the floor. Detectives reported that someone had carefully placed the body. Was this a hate crime? Or had Chaim been involved in a religious secret? The Nassau County Police questioned the students and teachers, but no one had heard anything. There were dozens of students in the dormitory, but no one had heard any strange noises that night. Years later, a police officer said, "Someone in that building knew everything, but no one spoke up." Some detectives thought the students or administrators were withholding information for religious reasons, because according to their traditions, slander was a grave sin. But a young person had been killed, and the school was silent. Over the years, many theories have been put forward. First, the killer was someone from within the school. He knew Chaim. He knew how to get into the room. Second, it was a ritual murder. The candle, the window, the respectful placement, all were symbolic gestures. The third, It was a Halloween night prank, but things got out of hand. However, there was no evidence, no confession, no clues supported these theories. The case gradually cooled off. 30 years have passed since 1986. The case was shelved, then reopened. In 2013, the police conducted a new DNA scan, but no results came out. Every year, Chaim's family continued to pray for justice. The police are still talking. There is a secret in this case, and that secret is in the heart of someone who lives in that building. Today, that building still stands in Long Beach. But in that room, the wind still blows in through the same window, and the spirit of 15-year-old Chaim Weiss waits for justice. Perhaps someone still knows the truth. Perhaps someone who remained silent years ago will speak one day. But until that day, this mystery will remain one of America's darkest school murders. Who killed Chaim Weiss? Who did this, and why?